I've called Brandon Johnson and Paul Vallis to congratulate them on their victories in advancing to the runoffs. We were fierce competitors in these last few months, but I will be rooting and praying for our next mayor to deliver for the people of the city for years to come.
Oh, Lori Lightfoot isn't going to be mayor of Chicago anymore. That's too bad, isn't it? I love when these people get fired. It brings me such joy. Joining me now, my friend Catalina Lauf ran for Congress. She's now the founder of the Defense of Freedom PAC. All right, Catalina, I live in Houston, well, the burbs. You're up there in the belly of the beast. Why isn't Lori Lightfoot going to be mayor anymore?
You know what? Because one of the few things that unites all of Chicago is the fact that we love our Portillo's Italian beef. That's the best one here in the city. And our mutual disdain for Lori Lightfoot. You could ask anybody, even if they weren't even into politics, of what they thought of Lori Lightfoot, and they would say she's an absolute disgrace. And it's very sad to see that the city that was so magnificent for so long, you know, over the last 4 years has seen such a destruction because of her lack of leadership, her empty promises, her corruption, and most notably her horrible TikTok videos that we will all not miss. But yes, crime has gone up. Businesses have shut down. Corporations have left in droves. The city is in complete destruction because of Lori Lightfoot and her cronies. And it's time that we have new leadership in to really rebuild. And it's going to take a long time. And it shows you that elections really have consequences because of the amount of destruction that she was able to, her lack of leadership, rather, because of the crime rates. Again, police retirements up over 200%. Because of all of that, it's going to take a long time to rebuild. And I'm hopeful that a new leader, a new mayor can do that.
Catalina, what did she do to drive this crime through the roof? Because I adore Chicago, as you know. I love that place, but I haven't been in 10 years, and it's just a war zone now. Now, it's always going to have crime. It's friggin' Chicago. It's had crime for a long time, but it is crazy how bad it got and how bad it got so fast. What'd she do?
Yeah, so primarily the crime rates were always concentrated in the South and West Side. That's been a long time thing, unfortunately, the lack of economic opportunity in those areas. But in the city, especially in the tourism parts, or even in where all the Fortune 500 companies are, it was always beautiful. Magnificent Mile. You had a lot of commerce, a lot of busy streets all the time, healthy economy in general. And what happened was, she overused her powers during the pandemic, so shut down everything, parks, kids couldn't go on swings. The draconian and tyrannical way that she approached the pandemic was really the start of everything. And then, you had restaurants shutting down, businesses shutting down, people weren't going into work. And then you add in the BLM riots, where completely she supported the people who were causing the mischief and the crime in an already decimated city because of the pandemic. Now you go in and you have people who are looting and rioting and destroying the very businesses and the restaurants and the areas that were basically kicked while they're down, and they were never able to recover from that. Lori Lightfoot was supporting defund the police. She's part of the progressive movement that just ultimately was not supporting law enforcement. So then you have a high rate of crime happening in even the most beautiful parts of the city.
Okay, Catalina, who are these two guys? Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson. No one across the country even knows who these people are. I have a very hard time believing these are hardcore righties, but are they sane Democrats?
Yeah, well, one of them certainly is not. Johnson is a very proud Marxist union organizer backed by the heavy progressive movement. He has prided himself of, again, defunding the police. He's exactly the opposite of what we want during this time, or what we want in general in a politician. And then you have Vallis, who campaigned on supporting law enforcement. He seems to be a relatively sane, conservative, principally, but ran as a Democrat. And ultimately, I do have hope that he will be able to change things. But look, we're from Illinois. Vote early, vote often, and the Windy City are our two favorite sayings. So we have a healthy skepticism of everybody, every politician, especially in the city of Chicago. But I do have hope that he can turn things around. And I first and foremost hope that he supports our law enforcement. Our retirements are down significantly. Nobody wants to join the police force at all. The academies have some of the lowest graduation rates. And then you're seeing high crime rates. Again, people are just trying to get out of the city. So I hope he can turn things around for the sake of what could happen in generations to come. It needs to rebuild, and it needs to rebuild fast.
Catalina, are you doing anything special today for the beginning of Women's History Month?
Absolutely. Celebrating that I'm proudly a female. How about that?
Well, at least there's one or two of you left in the country. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.